Beatrice Edu, Beatrice Annan, former presidents or some. Namake, Miaba Fiadaka, Central Region, Alamiadoma. Honorable Kofi Atto, Chief of Staff. Right Honorable Do Ajaho, former Speaker of Parliament. Honorable Mauto Agbavito, Chairman, Regional Chairman, Regional Executive, Namake General Secretary, Bubuta Fifi, Fiabi Kote. Ama Susai Kalamia Doma, Ogwana de Gafiami, Akpe Miawezo.
Yo, Akpe, Merakuma Chumon Pokwa Mayo, Miape, so Tapokomanola ne Anglon, no Vanami, Jadona Magbe, Miane Militi, Omotonko, Akpanami.
Alazu, Olazuza, Biafamato, Pomare, Odonya, Odo, Oli, Yawedom. Akpa Marakukunami, Banayaba, Yafama Kokonu Foma, Yam of you kana Pakuma, Oroto. Plus, we are testing Aqua Pame. All of you, Your Excellency, the incoming President of the Republic of Ghana, and his entourage, my colleague MPs, former MPs, and other special persons that we have around. My dependable branch executives, the constituency executives, Miawezo of Tegbi, Agba Anya Kakatohiara, Alaba, Agba Fankakaya, Emma Jola Yagbama Panya Makpo, Ba America Baraba Duklogger, Alpha Iguanama, Nanu Formula Makwa Duklola. Nyahanya komi makotafa emi ametafa kwa magba bisha akpagana miaropio. We the people of Qatar and Anglo, I think my brother is here too. Yeah, I will use 4 minutes and you will use the remaining minute. Thank you. We the people of Qatar and Anglo, we just want to tell our president incoming that we are forever for him. But there are 4 main reasons that we will continue to vote for NDC. We, the people of Anglo, we know that if our president comes to power by 2025, what is going to happen is that we along the coast, from Tegbi to Fuvama, our coastline will be protected. That's why we are here. Qatar coastal lines will be protected because this government started it before and we are here to continue. Secondly, we the Anglo people, especially the Shima area, the reason why we will continue to vote for NDC to bring us change is because we want the Shima Road to be fixed. And the Shima Road will be fixed by no other person than Honorable and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Yeah. Another reasons that we will vote for the NDC is that we, the youths, we don't have the work. Fortunately, The president incoming is giving us 24-hour economy. Nenyaba mienyaji mo kan ka ji omi gale. Mio ha mia fa do wala ogbogblombere. Na free sese aka obaga tro hyenwa awu ya togola anya awuro of you ayo ho no totom. Na ma glome mia fa tela olema. Alo ma na mai. The last but not the least on my side is that the Kata Lagoon that we have here. Kata Lagoon spans from Anglican to the Kata itself and beyond. And our biggest problem is that the lagoon is choked. Because the lagoon is very choked, it could not contain more water. What has added more injury to the soil or the problem we are having is that the river water that used to flow freely into the sea is also silted, causing the damage to our people. We are pleading with the president incoming that the very month that he will come to power, he should be able to set up his mechanisms in place so that the silting of the river water as well as the Kata Lagoon will continue in earnest. For other issues, like the way he will cater for all of us, that one is going to be nationwide. Health issues, I know he's going to deal with them. Education is going to deal with it. But what is going to affect us, we the people of Anlo and Kata, is what we wanted to put across to him. Our president incoming. Because of time, we don't want to go so much. But if you are drawing your agenda, please, these 4 thematic areas should be considered for us so that we the people will feel happy that we belong to a party that when we call on at dawn, the party will respond to our call. We are now sometimes being a laughing stock to our friends in opposition. They have been accusing us and laughing at us that when we were in government, what have you gained? But we can assure you that we have gained so much and we are coming to add more to our benefit. May God be with you, and the people of Anlo and Kata are happy to receive you, and we are forever for you. May God be with us all. Thank you.
His Excellency, for me, my senior brother have done also. Mine is to express our gratitude to you and then your brother during the time of the Akusubu Dam spillage. The relief items you brought to us, we are very appreciative, and we would like this opportunity to thank you for actually honoring that gesture to the people. The people of Anlo and Kata say, Aiko, thank you very much. Though you are not the president, but you are able to achieve it. The current government in power were not able to even bring anything to our people. But we in opposition, you are able to do that. I think the incoming president, when you come to power, a lot will be coming. Okay. On behalf of other colleagues in WoezorTV, we say Aiko. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Yo, akpa, mereko miafa makpa oba miatai ina ba mi lafia jiro, ta mia chumon pokpoya. Hayo kata lafia haunolawa na uponolo na ava na ovaglo enye ole oshinami. Mereko mia awele Tegbi capacity akpalu mereko na ava chief fisherman. Ghana National Tailors and Dressmakers Association, Madame Celestine Esinam, Maroko Yoha na Ava, Maroko Tegbi Gawu, Maroko Yohana Akbledo, Tegbi Gawu Dufia of Tegbi Amfogada Efiaonu, Bright Novia Bo, Maroko Fongre PW Tonu, Reverend Dr. Raymond Soga, Maroko Afongude Osofonu, Madame Ernestina Ahiadu, Maroko Iana Ava Afongude Adawala Club Beautician Sofa Ahabobonu, Ejona Kbado Maraku iya pung de adokplalau nu. Mama James Oklu iya apung de tento nu. Yo Maraku amagbanto papa.
Akpa na advocata ava miawezon. Ayiye Tegbi Felix ete akpalu capacity apufiana awe. Ayiye atapo nyaba bako monupopo ya madakperata. Ba miyo pogararo vai. Gaka agba mieko miava present Jomani Mahama ba 2024 ye akromila muti papa ma alaba kakai kata ma mien tobu obaya 2024 bakajiba awunu alaba mioha miako jizo nuka glomele miava rokloklo nya ha anya nu ka furam nami bie adaro agbavachama adowumi huo bayi na mova azawa mia mayo nya rokrola o mia tue gaka moha mia komu na rova dukoma jika mia rokrolo mia ko akoplo ha mia komu amra bato yaba sasa la gbagbazaba na mia dosa no a o manyogo amia kamero dage ha mia bali fio Tibi la via miekomi ya daro.
Okay.
Ko rokomieli ko ta beda kwava biava former president Germany Bahama ava Bavito biava habo nya ha makomu dadamura biava president Germany Bahama ba no kojia wakova yedo habo nami alaba mikata nya ko jizama akpanami nyawe dom.
Thank you very much. We are live on TV. The whole nation is listening and watching us. Hihamakata miakom alaba o miaban kosam ha. Amayoka atewado yavugba. No adwi mayoka moten dogwa. No do fagbea na mi adamana hihamakata wase. What our brother has just said is that he's a fisherman. They are not getting the album motto. The net, they are not getting it. When it comes to even the fuel, the premix, they are not getting it to enhance their operation. So they are pleading with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama that as they used to enjoy under his tenure of office, when he comes back to power as president, he should see to this thing for them. Then also, Keta Harbor, he should see to it that the harbor is not only on signboard, but it is a harbor that is constructed that will benefit the good people of Keta. Akpenami, ta never anya ike na agblọ New York anya mi apa kuhe ple nu ike na jiba President Mahama na wo NDC government na wo na mi edujia na agble minute ado daba popo ever kwa na machia na tewa agloto na mi aglevo a ka mi apa duklola afonu na mi afi mi abiamo akana wo de ka eza yiyi agbogbo a novio ha magbona yiyi areke kpoga aponu akpenami. Thank you very much.
Mietwe GNTDA
Clothing Africa and beyond.
Yo akpa Miafa Dukrola, President Dramani Mahama, you are highly welcome. Miafa NP Bubunato, Miawezo, Miafa Togbio Mamao, Miafa Security Mikata Miawezo, Anticipo Miawezo, Motola Miawezo, Akpa, Mikata Miakpa Dajeshiba Miela Haham, Miela Fukpa Garam, Miela Tatara Nima. Aika Dukrola Akpa Fuadu, Afojia, Malabobwe Crow, the woman va, a Blimagala Blicasal, Avonyangloto, a Blemia Runa, Mia Vao, a Blemia Runa, a Blissidi Atova, Susidi Viandra, Gatatoba, hey, Nyafa Doha, Amonuto, Omafahamo. Dokomia lama miena naka goma samo namo dogomia naka goma samo eta mie jijimba miafa Dukrola aiko bana jia hoga wakpara miangu oro waji miafa dowano na mi la para me industrial machine ya fu motor machine ya kanata foraji korori Nyafa mokpoko nyafa waji machine anami ashibobwe bami vyo hanami anutoma nyafa hunrero nato nyaga sore akpafu adupo Dukrola ha anaba nyavyo pa sukunya glala gbagba no yisuku kwasira raka we no pa majinwo ton Dukrola ha katemiele nyatagbio nyamamo no vinyo fofonyo danyo nyamo pokpenye ba afuya pamenala na yana dakorahu ale kamia tagbi jeje we dari koko na no damnendisia yana nyomo nendisia ko na yana weretafa akpanami.
So all that she has said is that a bowl of maize that used to cost 5 cedis is now 17 Ghana cedis. A bowl of maize that used to cost 5 Ghana cedis is now 17 Ghana cedis. She says 17 Ghana cedis. The cost of living is very high, and that even when they sow things to people, they are not able to pay. In addition to that, their children go to school 1 week, then they come home 3 months before going back to school. They are appealing to His Excellency to come and change this situation in the education sector, and also the sewing machine. The cost of sewing machine is very high, and industrial sewing machine, they need it for their work. They should subsidize the price for them so that they can enjoy a good living. Thank you.
His Excellency, we welcome you to Anlo land today, together with all your entourage. Okay, we welcome each and every one of us here. Magagara Fabama. Mal Chochi Otefa. Emaji Max Monopoya Adapana Ashinu Popoya. Be Miafa Plola Ikana Nonyevai. Agabona. I can Emayo Kataflache Wonya Deputy Minister. You can have your pombe. Miapa politician ni to do motora kala du koma ayenye ha ko mieda pana mamba abasu Dukrola ha aye agabona ha la hamaupa anyanua anu banto ika yeje mi agronye ba Ghana pa lufo Ghana pa psych Ghana
elle nous khame ala be corruption va gbami tetera nye va tamira to ala ba ni kana jo matin blofie nye be ni choba chacha kana mye wo assembly chacha ha amobiega na yira magbo oba honeni no chochoga na sikafia ba anwa agblav kakava gara fuchin agblav kakava gara toko alaba ganyava wonanama taflache afia ba adua agbla nyeva gara tetera nyima yata mia glomna aduklola hoko mahama ikana ga bona be ne mawofanu va khojia alaba o jagba o ga tro o wona no la mia ba tamasusu la mia pa amanyanyam alaba mia te won ga fon acho gbaglama o fomadima ifa assemblyman ara arujia aba osofo agaya magla asogo da mave adoga afie mana amao me kofia me rofia ala be me adogo chofima afalia afalia maraku sukunya bale ka ogbulena nyaba sukunya manyo headmaster o kata o fofon ala bana gbulea o koga yira fiare sukunya brakuneva na rankola sukunya unchinami majema ga glo habe amnushia fa jojo afa nyunyu lam tilama gbogbo me wo jona lagba ta president na varujia alaba gbogbo me fa paji ha ala fa fie la bana ma jola gbogbo mo ma jola lam tilamo ma on ko ram yamchi ba ikata na nyuna mi
So what the pastor said is that everything that happens in the physical realms happens in the spiritual realm. So His Excellency should come and look at that aspect to when it comes to power. Then he also spoke about the assembly election where people were demanding money before they go out to vote. And corruption is very endemic in the country now. It's everywhere to the extent that even when people come to church these days, giving offering becomes a challenge to them because people have packed the money under their pillows, under their beds. And that is corruption, and it's affecting not only the society but also the churches as well. Thank you.
I recognize the presence of the unofficial supervisor of the National Cathedral, Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa. Marukumia yide afeto yagbo.
Ayezu. Maraku nkoyin bright no video. Marakuku anyel PWDs otefa. Maraku Your Excellency, you're welcome. Marakuku nuwe kama jiba magbloa. Yenya namye globa agbonono system na Ghana du komatoa ta flache mi wo mi towe pene awu. Maraku ta na miafa du plola ika gbona odun kumiaji. Veviento Maraku emenye konfia me ko ba mako chi to de nwa da afi ko ba fia. Maraku miafa disability aid wa afude ma la gbegbe. Nui ka kudan va bianya ale ha oka import duties. Hafi obado Ghana du koma afudem ta flache ayina me nufuma miafa ya buda ka akona gbave na mi 2016 ma gaka le nya onya ta fuma ma nufum na mi fia amama ada pole danyi gbaji ala ba agbava tereji ako gu saube o moten no pedan o clear maku ita makwena miafa du plola tohe ba neva nalan kudan nami akpanami.
So he spoke on behalf of the persons with disability, PWD, and that when Ghana is very difficult, there is hardship in Ghana, they are the most affected persons. The persons with disability are most affected. So when President Mahama wins the next election, he should try and transform the nation so that they can be free. 2, import duty on aids, PWAs that they use, just as the crutches. Clearing of this thing at the port is becoming very difficult. And he cited an example of a foreigner or a white man who has brought some to the port now and he's not able to clear it. So when President Mahama wins the next election and leads the next NDC government, he should see to it that this import duty on aids for persons with disabilities is made free for them. Thank you.
Your petition to Marakumiva.
Peace. Azo. Nyankwanya Ernestina Ahiadu. Nyawanya Ghana Hairdressing Association, Beautician Association, GABA. Meraku Miava, Plemiapa Kuheo, Aika Miafo ho Ajiavaya, Miapa Moa, Adidi, Abobo, Masiamatuna Yagi, Kaki Miafo former Gava Dujio, Bokleta Miavalafia, Assassin Lakababa. Acha nyakwa don wi o kam ye plana 7 sidia atrozu 17 18 plato tam nyakwa nwo ashi homa leka gbegbe tanya mokpokpokle nye jidafu enye ba na miafofo Mahama vafia nyakwa don wo wajiji wo bobo ajiare dwem aika mu lafia roko na mabam nyafofo rodu jie ona ayazu Maijia, aika miafofo vacha, adongbana hairdresser, bia nao sola. Kaka matava po monkpokpo makwena miafijo. Nyakwa jidapo kule nyakwa gbadodora nyaba, aika ototroga gbofia. Nyakwa sola miekpoge. Ni kamya gagbole nyaba wajif tefanyada atu nyakwa factory onami le katakla ngloga domi otsunami. Ayi kamya fa burodo ayi ge plato wojina bobo nami nye dakpe ba ayi ka doda sila miashi ayi kamya nya Kristo towa nye Ghana da fo madra lupo mi jagbagba ke ya mi kweru mi arokioji nya gara fo ma nya glonyo na mi ato so heo nya kwa do srovio na gara podomio madamu na gadi na mi ato nya druji nya dogola kokuchi ata agbase samasa Mahama akpano wezon vamiagbo awe bona do ganami jiduru atowe magavo umakofole mausima akpa.
She spoke about the difficulties that they are facing with regards to their work. Ghana Beauticians Association. Their tools, equipment are very expensive. Now, His Excellency President Mahama made a promise to them when he was in power. He promised to give them solar. He prays that he comes back and then provide the solar to them. He seen the people over here. He believed that President Mahama has won the next election already. And that he is calling on everybody to go to the houses, the homes, and then preach the good news of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, so that this dream of winning the December 7, 2024 election will come to a reality. Thank you.
Yo, Agladelao. Yo, Akba. Duklola Howa. John Dramani Mahama. Awezon. Mi Agladelao mi la chitafia ba mi acho nyava vi omotonao. Ayika na bona adu yakloge le 2025.
miaƒe nyagbãtɔ yi ke miedara agbalẽ dzi afia yenye mi agbledelawo ƒe electricity nya electricity ƒe asixɔxɔ le miaƒe agbledenyawo ma emiawu ma le gbegbe eyi ke woe be ne mieda agblea vɔ kɔa miatso ga katã ava xe electric bill efu ɖem na mi alebe mie koko ƒom be eyi ke ne gbɔna nadzi mita tɔxɛ aɖe na agbledelawo si ke etsina ɖe ye mita ƒe asi tsadzia hã etsina ɖe be mia agbledelawo hã ne be da agblea miakpɔ nane evelia yenye miaƒe fertilizer nya kple agbledetsikewo egba fia fertilizer mele revim o alebe mie koko ƒom be nenye be ne va miaƒe fertilizer nyawo agbledetsike nyawoa na le ŋku ɖe na mi be miawo hã miata nɔ gbe le miaƒe agbledede me emlɔtɔ yi ke le agbalẽ dzi nye vevitɔa yenye miaƒe amugã abe ale yi ke miaƒe mp gblẽ na amugã ya ye kpe ɖe agblea ŋu enyina aŋlɔdukɔ gake miaƒe dzeƒoa exe ale gbegbe be kaka tsi vi aɖe na dzakɔa etsiaƒu du va do ɖe miaƒe agblewo me ye etɔ elã ɖeka megate ŋu nɔ tɔ ɖe etɔ mu ya ta mie koko ƒom be nenye be mawu ve mia ŋu ye ne trɔ gbɔ nava kpɔ miaƒe amutagba gbɔ na mi aku eme na mi be tɔmelãvi nava akpe ewoe gbɔna dɔwɔge.
Yeah, he spoke on behalf of the farmers and talked about the high cost of farm inputs and electricity. The cost of electricity is very high, and that when President Mahama comes to office, he should do something about it for them. A special electricity meter for farmers. Farmers across the constituency and the region, the country, they are really suffering. They are paying high costs for electricity. Then the farm produce input. He talks about fertilizer, high cost of fertilizer in the country now is preventing them from enhancing their farm business. Then the last one is that the lagoon, as the Honorable Member of Parliament mentioned, it is no longer a place that they can go and fish and enjoy their living. So when President Mahama wins the next election, of which he believes that he will win, he should remember these things and desilt the lagoon, the Keta lagoon, from Achiavi and to Achito. You know the places. All these people, they depend on this lagoon for living, but now the case is different. So he's appealing to His Excellency to do that for them.
Hello, Madak Paramon Pokpata. Yeah, Mado Wezona Tegbi Pramamon. Yeah, Mado Wezona Miapa Duplako. Mia Matso Anyanya Anglogan to Fashidada. Yaba Alicia Ashiaroko Vaglanani Nanya Bamia Planu Azrafia, Mia Planu Gahogbo, Gaviara, Comiponaji, Gavia, Mia Poja, Legend the Kamama got a pop with you, who got chill and Yashimi so dome, Rokovani. Comia Pocomba, Ale and Mon for me. Yes, if you are not only if you have got formula, Ghana, Arogian. Problem Romia izo abu doira togoma abu doya fi akri tamye gbadom raba ni dokutu ya mi arumye gagamra na mawo we mi gara hafita ale o dogbana ye o rata sajino vie o dogbana le mi ige aromye yi haboko na mi amava mi fofu ko agbava ko ya softly ahama ko ajina revie ko mi akɔ gbe ava dra na ɔvɛ ma na mi nenema ala bele owe be yafa shitagawo kata va vo ko haha ma ko mi vale kare kama gavale do ma gava vivi na mi ta mi gbedumra be ale o lefia ale enu na troy ye na ma wowe ye mi afofo ava okpere mi an enu na tro na mi afa shitata na trogbo mi afa jina zem enmanye mi ashitala o kwenya ye nye mi avie school vio ha ye okpere ohun aba suku nyaw ha na tro enu na trogbo na mi ta kama enye mi afa kokoko na mi afofo.
Madam spoke on behalf of market queen or traders that under President Mahama they got a lot of interest-free loans, that their trading activity was booming. But under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, they've depleted all their business capitals. Now they don't have any capital to go into business again. So she's praying to God Almighty that when President Mahama comes, as he used to do, he will do it and do it better for them to get interest-free loan or loan with a little interest, that their businesses can come back to life. Thank you.
Mie takpana dublibo kata vevietonya NGC fuma kata miabe dukplɔla xoxoa mie dakpe eye nye zie gbãtɔ eke mi hã mie dzɔ ɖe agbea me amutɔe shima ye eduoro miagbɔ be miabe dukplɔla xoxoa gbɔna gba be yaxo miaƒe hiahiãwo ke ku ɖe miaƒe dɔwɔnawo ŋu ne mawu gawoe be yeva xɔ zia yaɖo ŋuti na mi ewo ŋku na mi medzɔ kpɔ elabe miabe amutagbea ne nyo ŋutɔ mialé ŋku ɖe ŋu le xɔma fia ŋutɔŋutɔ hã nu yiwo ke medzɔna ye dzi be yadzɔ ye nye be amutagbea miabe MP bubutɔe le mia si fia eye wova nu fo ga eɖo ŋku tagbea dzi miaƒe agbledelawo eye wova nu fo ga woɖo ŋku tagbea dzi yi ke ɖi efia be nya yi gblɔ ge mia la anye nyateƒe matrɔmatrɔ mieda akpe eve metsitsiawo do lo gblɔ be ne kpɔkplɔ le agbea mata nye eƒe dzidzime va da asi ɖe ke kpɔkplɔ ma mie nu hafi le kpɔ ganye be wo kpɔkplɔ dzidzi vava nu ma dzɔ ɖe miabe dukplɔla xoxo dzi eyi me ke miegbe ŋu le gbɔ le ame aɖewo ƒe nuƒoƒo ta ewɔe be ale wòle abe miatsi tre ada kɔ ne wògakplɔ mi miakpɔ dzidzema miegbe ŋu le gbɔ gake ŋkutɔe mawu ɖi efia mieva nya azɔ be ke bonuɔ kpɔkplɔ wònye le mia gbɔ eye miedze si ebe dzidzimɔ yate miegbe ŋu le gbɔ. Miegblɔm be eyo nyagbe nye zie gbãtɔwo mía mutɔsilawo kpɔm ɖe nɔnɔmeawo me míameawo le afia me mi katã de blibo gake dzɔ ɖo míagbɔ kpata míeƒoƒu mía ɖokui fu be ele be míawo míawɔ nane kokoko eya ta me dzidzi ge wɔ míabe nu yiwo gblɔ ge mía le afia le mɔ dzia míawo lé ge ɖe gbalẽ dzi wòto míabe MP bubutɔ gbɔ eɖo míabe dukplɔla xoxo gbɔ míaƒe gbedoɖa nye be edzi hã ɖu ge eye wòɖo míabe hiahiãwo gbɔ lo. Míeda nanewo ɖe gbalẽ dzi afia míewo gblɔ ge ɖekaɖeka woyi abe ŋu woame atɔ̃ ene egbãtɔe me le gbalẽ dzi na mí afi o ye nye be míedo mu ɖa be míabe dukplɔla xoxo yi ke gbɔna dukplɔla zu ge eƒe ye gbɔna be nenye be wòva ezu dukplɔla wòkpɔ gbɔ be MC yiwo ɖo ge alo DC yiwo ɖo ge la vevietɔ nye ke ta kpla ŋlɔ gã va de asi ne ketu kple wotɔwoa wòkpɔ gbɔ be amutɔsilawo le ŋuto yawo me wotia wobe nɔƒe nɔla ɖekaɖeka da ɖe assembliawo me yi ke be nu yawo nye mía mutɔsilawo be kuxe eyi ke wòle nyanya na wo katã gake womeda dzesi o eyi ŋkutɔe tsia re mí eye bolu kple galã do ɖe tsia me hafi wonya be amutɔlia hiahiãmo katã míaƒe ŋgɔgbetɔmo anɔ assemblea me woakɔ numa ne dziɖuɖuɔ eye woawɔ dɔ tso ŋu na mi ya ta míetsi atsitre ɖe afi ma dzi ɖo nu yi ŋkue míetsi atsitre ɖo abe amutɔsilawo nye be gbã nenye be mawu wɔe ŋkpɔkpɔ va me na mi abe ale míegblɔmee na enu gbãtɔe wɔ na mi nye be keta zizã yi ke wovu ŋutsɔ ya woakpɔ gbɔ abe dziɖuɖu ene woable eto ne teƒe ma va de asi ɖe habe dzi. Ne wotsɔ fi ma dzɔdzɔmezizã ŋutɔ ma wo na mi abe amegbetɔ gake míegbe ŋu le gbɔ yenye adã kple anyaŋui dziɖuɖuɔ yi ke míemɔ kpɔm be gbɔna dziɖu ge awo dziɖuɖuɔ na kpɔ gbɔ be nyaŋuitɔ wotrɔ si le ŋu magaxe azɔ be etsia ke ɖe mia magaɖe mia azɔ edzi yitɔe nye be miabe tɔmekuku eʋu ne dzagbɔ no tɔe dzi elabe egbewo nɔ anyi tɔmelaviwo bena ɖe ame ɖeke megali o tɔmelaviwo megakpɔ bebeƒe aɖeke o ya ta míexɔe se be nenye be eʋuo le tɔ dzi eʋe yi ke ɖe ɖeke ta asia elãwo be bebeƒe mɔ nye yi ke awɔe be enu yiwo ke edzɔdzɔm le tɔ dzi gba magadzɔ ke be ɣeyiɣia ta gbletɔ kple mletɔ míagblɔ nɛ hafi atso mɔmlɛ va da ɖe gbalẽ dzia yaye nye be míawo abe amutɔsilawo na wotrɔ kɔ ɖe míawo mía ŋu atsiawo zã mía le gba míabe ʋuwo blam atsiawo menyo ne ble ʋua fia dziŋu de dziŋu enyimo alo ƒe ɖeka ko ʋua gblẽ mía koko ƒom ne míabe dukplɔla yi ke gbɔna dukplɔla nye ge ŋutsɔ ya gbɔna be nenye be zia va susi azɔ wòakpɔ gbɔ be wòage ɖe yevu dukɔwo me fa bayawo kɔ wobe ʋuwoe yi ke ne wole ŋdɔkutsugbe womegblẽna o wova lé ŋku ɖe míabe ʋuwo ŋu le asia. Ne woawɔ eʋuɔ ɖe eŋu na mi nenema lo míeda akpe ɖe mi katã miawo va wɔ dɔ.
He spoke on behalf of the fishermen and said that the canoe that they use is made of wood and it doesn't last. So he's appealing to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to help them and bring investors so that as is being done in the developed countries, the materials that they use in molding the boats, the canoes, they can also use those materials so that the canoes can last longer for them. 2, he wants President Mahama to appoint fishermen as government appointees to the assemblies so that they can carry their concerns and messages to the various metropolitan and municipal assemblies to address their concerns. He also spoke about the lagoon and said it should be desilted so that it can be useful more for the community. Thank you very much. Susuya, they have the canal that is Azizaji. It should be, open, and the edges should be protected. The edges should be protected with concrete so that the lagoon can flow into the sea properly. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. The chief.
Ago medo WoezorTV na miaƒe dukplɔla xoxo John Dramani Mahama kple NDC eduhakplɔlawo katã megado WoezorTV na miaƒe MPO miaƒe DCwo katã miawoe zɔ miawoe va dɔ ge nyateƒe enye dzidzɔme nyagblɔ nam be egba mɔkpɔkpɔe su miasi abe Tegbi duwo ne kple Anlo duwo ne elabe mienɔ mɔ yo kpɔm xoxoxo mienɔ kpɔm o gake nue le asi nye ma gblɔe nye be enye nublanui kple vevesese be mikpɔ ɖeviwo katã edua katã ya ho ehe le afi ya nu ke dzɔ de ko jimiele elabe miekpe be dukɔ me katã sesem ɖeviwo katã wotsi mavo edɔ meva li ɖeviwo na wɔ nu ye medze be ɖeviwo na wɔ yi wɔm wole ta mie kuku ɖem ne be ɖe edɔwo me katã amewo gblɔ amusilewo gblɔ wotɔ agbledelawo gblɔ wotɔ asitsalawo gblɔ wotɔ ne dzagba ɖe mieka ɖe dzi kɔtɔe be egadɔ trɔ gagbɔ elabe nunyiwɔla ƒe ta metsi abamo eye ɔgalé ŋku ɖe ŋuti be míaŋlɔwɔ le míele abe agalã ne ne míele wɔ ke aɖugbolo fifli ge ye aŋlɔ le ndc dukɔ ba se ɖe gbaa nyemekra dzi be wode megbe tso ndc ŋuti o eye ne wɔna yewo katã wo dzi ma la ɔkpɔe tɔxɛ nyateƒe emɔwo le míade duma menya kpɔkpɔm o menya se o Tegbi du etsi akogo loko la be ye va nye gbãtɔ na ŋlɔ district eganye mɔmle ne keta ta enuya lia hene gava ɖe míaƒe mɔ yiwo tsɔ fia ge ɖe eƒua ta ne nu ɔdzagba ɔkpɔ gbɔ na mi ne mote ɖeke wɔgo hã ne ɔdzagba ɔdui nɔ ɔko bituniwo ɖe dzi ko gravus wo ɖe dzi ko ne eʋuwo na te no managing gbɔ afi míanɔ ŋgɔgbe kpɔm míaƒe hãhiãwo sugbɔ gake nye megbɔgblɔm be nu ye katã wɔ mie le afia magane dzodzro wɔ ndc dukɔ hã ne nobla ɖi dzi sesie mogara si naneke ŋu ma ɖeke meganɔ anyi ɖe yiƒe ɔfisi o ma ɖeke megawɔ naneke o nowoe be nu ya kɔe dagbɔ wɔla wona ame sia ame nakpɔ gome eye ne woda kɔ vɔ woatɔ akpɔe be woxlẽ akɔ eɖe ɖe sia ɖe le me wobe police station woɖua dzi le na loko van bo efiawo mogawɔ politics o gake ne gblɔm tumas ko ke wotage o nyateƒe gake nyateƒe lia koe ato me le mi kpe ɖe mia ŋuti elabe mi gadzidzim be ɖe míaƒe habɔ na nye signboard o tabɔl aŋlɔ gã kple keta signboard ko nye midzagba miakpɔ gbɔ ne signboard na dogoa nye habɔ ŋutɔ dumeviwo nakpɔ dɔ awɔ elabe miagbɔ naneke meli o miadzo wo de suku nyuie nya gbalẽ tɔxɛ wɔwɔe nye ŋku miawoe nye dzeneke Ghana doɔ ta midzagba miakpe ɖe mia ŋuti mieko mie efu kpem mikpe ɖe mia tsi tɔxɛ lebe ɖe ndc yake aŋlɔ doɔ alo vote kplɔ ɖo ɖe wònye vi ɖe na mi maganye vi ɖe na ameawo ko nye me yi ge fu o xeye woko le asi nye ya dabalamɔ hã heye dzedze rɔli si dui kɔ iko vɔ mogawɔ naneke kpe ɖe tso ŋuti kpɔ gake maa ɖewo tɔ no die gba etso gadui ɔdzagba kpo dabalamɔ ma eva keta hã ɔkpɔ gbɔ na mi heye woko bia mie le mie biabiam fún ye mi kpe ɖe mia ŋuti koe edɔ navɔ ne ɖeviwo na wɔ ne miakpɔ ŋgɔgbe yi akpe na mi miawoe gbɔna dɔ ge.
Yeah, thank you very much. Tegbi spoke about job for the young ones. He talked about the fact that there are a lot of graduates in Anglo that they are not employed. So when President Mahama comes back to power and the NDC, he should see to it that there is more job for the youth. 2, the road in the town is in a deplorable state. The road should be constructed when NDC comes to power. The road from Dabala has been as it used to be under President Rawlings. It has never seen any patch or any improvement. There are some roads that are constructed today, then the next day they are destroyed or they become unmotorable. He also spoke about the fact that NDC must be vigilant. Nobody should sit in the office. We must work hard to win power. It's just unfortunate that he as a chief cannot do active partisan politics. The moment you do it, they tag you. So he is urging all of us to work hard so that the party can come back to power. And then the harbor should transit from a signboard to a real harbor. When President Mahama becomes the next president, the signboard harbor should be a harbor of harbors. That is what Tegbi has just admonished all of us. And he wished us well. He says that Anlo is NDC and NDC is Anlo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are live on Salah Radio and Jubilee Radio, all in Keta and Anlo. Without much ado, I introduce to you the man that the MPP fears very much, the nation builder, a quintessential gentleman, the man to rescue Ghana. With a standing ovation, let us welcome His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Choboy!
Thank you very much. Let me stand on all the existing protocols so that we're able to make up for time. So I'll just use Professor Mill's salutation. My brothers and sisters, you're all welcome. This is the Building Ghana tour, and we're in Volta region now. We started in Bono East and Ahafo, came to Western North, Western and Central, and we're starting the Volta tour today. And this is the first actual town hall meeting that we're having here in Tegbi. And so I want to thank you for coming in your numbers and for expressing the things that are of interest to you. We have a lady at the back here, Beatrice. Those of you who watch TV would be seeing her in the morning, especially on TV3 and Metro TV. She has a laptop with her, so everything that you were saying was being recorded. And so we have a list of everything that you said. We are a listening party, and we believe that power is given to a political party or to leaders to come and serve us. And so if we have to come and serve you, we need to know what it is you want us to do for you. And so we're not seeking power for the sake of power, just to enjoy power and be arrogant and be opulent in our attitudes. We're seeking power because we want to solve the rightful needs of our people. And that is why we've called the ordinary people to come and express their views. And I'll just go through a few of the things that have been said. The representative of the fishermen, I'm not going to talk about everything because in many places the same issues have been raised and I have addressed them. But I'll talk about the issue of the fisher folk again. And like he said, the issue of outboard motors came. One of the things that we need to do in all of this is to appoint a minister who actually knows what the needs of the fishermen are and who actually wants to serve those interests. May she rest in peace. We had our honorable minister, Honorable Sherry Aite, and all the fishermen that I have gone to the fishing communities before she died last year. Any community that I went to, they said, when you come back into office, appoint Sherry Aite as your Minister of Fisheries again. Why were they saying that? Because she understood their felt needs and she responded to them. Outboard motors were procured and they were given to the fishermen themselves, their cooperatives, to distribute. And so government used to import the outboard motors, subsidize them, and give to the fishermen themselves to distribute. You paid a small deposit, and then you paid the rest in installments over a period of time. So for those who got, the next time the outboard motors come, they give to another group of people. Today, when those outboard motors come, they are given to party chairmen and party apparatchiki, and they keep them in their houses. They are not fishermen. The real fishermen want the outboard motors. They have to go and buy the outboard motors from party chairmen and party executives who have put their profit on top of the outboard motors. That thing will stop when NDC comes into office.
1
Because we have a proven system for distributing these items. And that was put in place by our former president of blessed memory, Professor John Evans Atta Mills. Before he became president, he went to every fishing community along the coast in this country and he asked what their problems were. And they expressed those problems to him. And he came out with a very practical solution. He created landing beaches in all the landing beach committees in all the fishing communities. And the landing beach committees were not based on politics. Anybody could be a member as long as you were a fisherman. And so they had their executive and they had the people who were the leaders of the landing beach committees. And so if fishing inputs came, the fishing inputs were given to the executives. And the executives know their members, and so they distributed it to their members. So anytime we brought outboard motors, we knew the list of fishermen who were next in line to receive those outboard motors. And so we're just going to go back to that system. We will reconstitute the landing beach committees. The landing beach committees will be made of fishermen. And all the fishing inputs are going to come to them. Don't let's do what the MPP did. I've heard some of our people say, the MPP did it. Which one we come, we're going to do the same thing. Our party chairman too can get the outboard motors and give to our party people. We can never develop a nation if we do the same thing that these people have done. That is why Ghanaians are going to punish them at the next election. They are going to send them packing to go back home. And it's not only outboard motors, even premix. Premix does not go to the fishermen. Premix goes to party executives. And something that is supposed to be subsidized, they put their profit on it and they sell it to the fishermen. And so many of the fishermen cannot buy the premix, they cannot get the premix. And so some of them have to go to the filling station, buy petrol, buy engine oil, and come and mix their own premix. And that makes it more expensive. So when they go to see any fish that they go and catch, because of the cost of petrol, they are not making any profit. They are not able to look after themselves because of the high cost of premix. And so it's something that we would look at. And I can assure you that we would put somebody in charge of your sector who would take your interest to heart and make sure that the actual fishermen and our women who work with the fishermen are the ones who benefit from the subsidies that government gives. With the dressmakers, like I said, we appreciate that you exist in associations. And so every district we go, we have a dressmakers association. We have a hairdressers and beauticians association. It makes it easier for government to assist you. I know that a lot of you use working capital out of small loans and then you pay back in installments. And so what I've said is that we're going to review the way we give those small loans. The government institution that does it is called Maslock. But what they do is they come and register your members, ask them to open accounts, and they give the monies directly to individuals. What we'll do is you will register your association as a cooperative. And so what Maslock will do is Maslock will not come and give it to your individual members. It will give it to you, the cooperative. And the cooperative, you will give it to your members. And they will work, and as they work, they will pay back. When you pay back, we'll come and give you another loan to give to other members so that everybody is able to benefit. And then also when we come, the school uniforms that are sewn for our children, we will give the materials to you, the dressmakers, to sew for the children. Currently what is done is that some party people go and get the contract to sew the uniforms. Then they come and subcontract it to the dressmakers. And so they take the bulk of the profit and you are the ones who sew it, but you get very little for sewing. And so if you exist in associations, if the school uniforms are for the children of Anlo Constituency or Anlo District, the school uniform contract will be given to the Dressmakers Association of Anlo to sew the uniforms for the children. That would allow the benefits to go down to the grassroots so that our people also benefit from what government is doing. Even though it has nothing to do with dressmakers, she mentioned the issue of double track and our children coming home and staying at home for a long time before they go back. I've talked about it already. I said there are issues with the implementation of the free SHS. And so when we come, we're going to call a stakeholders meeting. That is parents, teachers, everybody will come. And we'll sit down and we'll look at what the implementational issues are. And we will resolve those issues so that the true benefit of free SHS is realized by all of us. One of the things I've said is we will work as quickly as possible to abolish the double track so that all our children will go to school at the same time. And they will all vacate at the same time. Some children came home in December and they are not going back to school till March. By the time they go back to school, they have forgotten a lot of what they were taught. And if you are the parent and you don't have enough money to get extra study classes for the child, then the child retards in terms of their progress because they stay at home for so long. And if you don't keep them occupied, they might get into some activities that are not helpful to the children. And as for the clergy, they talked about corruption in the society. Indeed, now corruption has broken loose. If it was in the IGP's custody, it has broken the jail and is running all over the country. And it's obvious that MPP have no desire or no ability to check corruption because their own people are involved in the corruption and they cannot deal with them. So I have said, if they can't deal with it, when we come, we'll deal with it for them. And so when NDC come, we'll hold those who have misconducted themselves accountable. But I must also caution our own people that those of us who go into positions of authority, if you also abuse your trust, I'm not going to come and defend you. The anti-corruption institutions will deal with you as we are going to deal with the members of this government. And then, persons with disability. If you say you are suffering, then the person with disability is suffering 10 times more than you. Because you are even fiscally able. And you say times are hard. So if times are hard, they are 10 times harder for persons with disability. And that's why we made a special dispensation that when the District Assembly's Common Fund comes, there should be a portion that is reserved for persons with disability. Unfortunately, what is happening is that this government is not releasing the District Assembly's Common Fund. And a lot of the District Assembly's Common Fund, before it comes to the district, they have deducted and procured for the districts. And so instead of the money going to the districts and they determining what they want to use their District Assembly's Common Fund for, the District Assembly's Common Fund administrator and the center have already decided what you need. And so they'll come and tell you, come and collect dustbins, come and collect waste containers, come and collect this, we bought it for you. Give the money to the assemblies, let them buy their own dustbins and let them do the things that they want to do themselves. Even before now, until somebody went to court, they used to cap the Assembly's Common Fund like all the other funds. And so if it exceeds a certain amount, the extra goes into the consolidated fund. And so we will make sure that we put the economy back right so that the fund, the money that should come to the districts as the Assembly Common Fund would go to them and they are able to do their own procurements and also able to give the portion that belongs to the persons living with disability to them. I don't think the development authorities are doing anything. That $1 million per constituency, that didn't come. It is just money that is meant for patronage. The money is given to the development authorities. Without the assemblies and the MPs knowing anything, a contractor arrives in your constituency and says, I've been asked to come and build a 6-classroom block. And it's just because somebody wants to control those projects so that they make a profit on them. And so when we come, the monies that go to the development authorities, if it is additional to the Assembly's Common Fund, it will go to the districts, so that the districts will determine what they want to use the money for, instead of going to the development authorities. If we come, we have the men and women who will put this economy back on its feet so that the prices of things become fairer. We did a pilot for solar panels and it was very successful. What happened was we registered hairdressers and beauticians and also dressmakers and barbers and others. And we gave them solar panels on the roof of the structures where they were operating with a solar installation. It could give them power during the daytime. It had battery in the evening to power a small TV. It can power your fans in your salon. It can run your hair dryers. It can run your sewing machine. It can run your barber's clippers. So you put on the solar, especially during the daytime, and you switch off ECG, so that no ECG bill is coming to affect you during the day. And in the night, it will run on battery. So you can run on battery until the battery is low. Then now you switch on the ECG. That will reduce your electricity bills. And so it's something that we piloted. It was successful. And we asked the Energy Commission to scale it up. And so we're going to work with you. And what happens is when we install it, you pay for it little by little by little by little by little until you finish paying, and then you own it. Fertilizer, and it was no joke. The amount of money I paid for fertilizer for my soya bean and my corn farm, it really made a hole in my pocket. So I empathize with you. So if I do anything for you, the farmers, I'm doing it for myself, because I'm also one of you. And so we'll see how we can distribute the subsidized inputs. The way it was done under Planting for Food and Jobs, we all know that a lot of those inputs were being smuggled outside the country. Ghanaian fertilizer could be found as far away as Mali and in Burkina Faso, because some of it goes to party executives who are not farmers, and all they want is to smuggle it across the border and go and collect safer and come and change to cedis. And so we're going to digitalize the distribution of farming inputs. And so if you are a farmer, you would have to register with your local farmer service center. And the inputs will be distributed through the farmer service centers. And what will happen is the subsidy will be loaded on your mobile money platform. And you have to go to your center, take the inputs and pay for it using your mobile phone, so that we can distribute it fairly. If you say you're a farmer and you register, they will come and inspect your farm to make sure that you are a real farmer. We don't want any fly-by-night farmers. They will register your acreage. They will know how much fertilizer you need, how much agricultural inputs you need, and that will be loaded onto your mobile phone, and you use it to pay the farmer service center for the subsidized inputs. And when that has been done, they will supply it to you, and you go and do your farming activities, so that we don't have the inputs being smuggled by people outside. Aside from that, I agree with you. I have an irrigation system. Unfortunately for me, I don't even have electricity. Where my farm is, there's no electricity. So I have to run my irrigation system using diesel. And that is even more costly than electricity. So I am really suffering. So I can understand that you are also suffering because of the cost of electricity. So what we want to consider is whether we can use solar pumps instead of electrical and other. If we can use solar pumps instead of electrical and diesel pumps. If we do that, it will bring the cost down remarkably. Especially I've seen those who are doing the shallot farming. If we use solar, the pumps they are not very big. They can run on solar. So if we give you the solar equipment, you can use it to run your pump, and then you pay for it, in little installments until you have paid for it, so that you stop using electricity, which is more expensive. All the issues you said about the lagoon, we have captured them, and so we're going to take note of that. With our market, our mother from the market, she talked about expensive items, high cost of duties and taxes, no capital, and so on and so forth. These are all because of the mismanagement of the economy by the MPP administration. I can assure you, we'll come and stabilize the economy. We'll stabilize the foreign exchange. Part of the high cost of goods is because the foreign exchange keeps moving, and so it makes it difficult to be able to maintain inflation at a good rate. And so it's something that we'll look at. Everything else said here, we have taken note of it. I want to thank Tegbi for raising the issue of the roads. It's not only here. If you go around the whole country, all our roads are in a very bad state, because this government does not know that even if you construct a road, you have to do routine maintenance. Potholes will come into a road, whatever, even if it's asphalt, after some time, potholes will come there. But you don't leave it. You must go back and fill that pothole so that you can prolong the life of the road. And that's why we have the road fund. Unfortunately, they are starving the road fund of money. And so the routine maintenance we used to do when we were in government, letting people patch potholes and so on and so forth, they don't do. There are roads that were built 7, 8, 9 years ago. They have not seen pothole patching for 8 years. And so by the time you see the road, more potholes have come, it's destroyed the road, and it makes it more expensive when you come to rehabilitate the road. And so we will attend to all that, and by God's grace, things will be better. We'll also implement the 24-hour economic policy. And as I said, businesses are not going to be forced to work 24 hours. Those who voluntarily want to work 24 hours, will create the incentives for them to be able to do so. We'll reduce their taxes, we'll reduce their electricity tariffs, we'll provide them with security and many other incentives. So those who want to do it will do it. And what it means is that they'll employ more people, because you cannot employ the same people to run for 24 hours. You have to employ another shift or 2 shifts to be able to work day and night. It's working in other places. If you go abroad, all those countries that we are admiring and so on and so forth, they are all running 24-hour economies. And so we're going to put in the ability for our businesses to run 24 hours, so that more of our young people can also get employment. There's no reason why we cannot increase production by taking on more labor. Our children are finishing school at different levels, SHS, university, and they're coming back to sit at home 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years with no employment. And so the 24-hour economy, we will implement it, and I'm sure that it will provide more opportunity for employment for our young people. I thank you very much. Naira Mikata Akwenami.
number of things. Key among them, let's take a look at them. The 24 hours economy, where he's gone further to explain what he intends to do, and also the issues of, ensuring that we have security in place to roll out this 24-hour economy policy. And of course, he also spoke about the fact that, look, this will bring in more jobs. And I think